Alright, y'all. Welcome back to Bro Sports Talk. If you're new to the show, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell to keep up with everything we upload. It will give us a big boost and it'll help us a lot. And if you're part of that lovely Spotify audience and you like what we put on there, then go ahead and give us that 5-star review. Not 4, not 3, not anything lower. Hit that 5th star. Let us know you love us. And lastly, follow us on Instagram to keep up with the pod. Alright, we'll be posting reels, all types of little shorts on there. And other than that, make sure you enjoy the episode. Much love.
It's interesting. So how are y'all doing today? What y'all been up to? It's been a minute since we had some recording going on. What y'all lives been like?
I just, fucking hate 2K, game fucking holding me, man, stopping me from being the best I can be. So I'm currently re-downloading it, man, but other than that, I ain't been doing nothing.
Like, Josiah and I can agree with you there.
Yep. 2K is fun, but it ain't good. I know that. Well, I've been doing nothing but working on myself, getting better every day.
Hey, Absol said it in his song Do Better. There's nothing they can do that I can do better. Better yet, there's nothing I can do that I can't do better. You know what I'm saying? Wise words of the man Absol himself. Off the album, by the way, if you were wondering. But, yeah, for the most part, it's been the same in between work and medical visits. I got a nice little moment to chill. Yesterday, on my sister's birthday, we went and through Axis and got some expensive cookies. And other than that, man, it's just been chill.
That's good. Happy birthday to your sister, by the way.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Josiah says happy birthday.
I say thank you.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
You said thank you.
You're welcome.
You hear that? Yeah. Well, y'all been keeping up with. Well, it's our job to keep up with sports news. As the greatest journalists out there with a podcast, this is our job to do. But y'all been paying attention to. I know this is like getting old, but I kind of wanted to bring some more light to it. The Francis Ngannou UFC situation. Heavyweight champion of this world right now, and he's probably not he's not returning to the UFC. And Dana White has tried to say that it's because of fear, but whatever the hell Francis Ngannou fears, I don't want a part of. I think it's like finally bringing a light to the same thing. Like we've talked a lot about Jake Paul and KSI and their fight cards and what they're advocating for, regardless of our feelings of those people. And I think this Francis Ngannou situation is proving Dana White's greatest rival, Jake Paul, right, in the sense that he's not paying fighters what they're worth, because that's the whole basis of the spat between him and Francis, who could arguably be considered the greatest UFC heavyweight. To have somebody as like diligent and dedicated to their craft as Francis back off because you don't want to give him what he's worth. Meanwhile, you have like former UFC legends like Marlon Moraes in the PFL, which is the same league Jake Paul just signed to. You have Michael Chandler like doing the same and stuff like that. Speaking of, Michael Chandler has called out Conor McGregor for some reason, but we'll save that for another time. But yeah, and then he's done things like, obviously, with losing Francis Ngannou, they brought John Jones, who reportedly will be joining the heavyweight division, which is division up from where he was when he was on crack. So, making that decision, like trying to salvage that division, because in all actuality, like, yeah, heavyweights, they're the hard hitters, they're not necessarily, people don't see them as the skill fighters, even though there are some incredibly skilled fighters in that division. But people watch the heavyweights for hard hits, crazy finishes, and I feel like if bringing John Jones back in there is what he's trying to do with losing Francis Ngannou. Because other than that, the most exciting thing going on in the UFC right now is the style bender versus Alex Pereira. So I personally don't see this as a salvage thing. I don't know if y'all have kept up with the UFC as much as I have. I frankly haven't kept up with it as much as I normally do. But this Francis Ngannou situation caught my eye, and I've been keeping my eye on it, like hoping that maybe something happens, maybe that Dana White finally gives, but he's too busy smacking his wife and looking like a cue ball. Understand that he's losing something really important here. Like Francis Ngannou is the cornerstone of an entire division of your organization, and the whole reason that people like KSI and Jake Paul are putting these cards out, reason why people are leaving for PFL and Bellator MMA, is because you don't pay people. And the one credit that a lot of these people gave you is that you pay your champions, and then you're probably most important champion. Like, his contract's up and he's wanting what he's worth, and you're like, nah. By the way, come here, honey. Yeah, still no.
I think that I think the UFC is cooked until Dana White get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything they can do now or in the future with Dana White as the head, because that boy about his money. So like, he ain't trying to give none of it up. He one of those. So like, anything money related just not gonna happen. So when Francis get up out of there and start fighting for somebody like one of the other UFC type organizations, then people are gonna start moving from UFC. And then if Dana White don't get up out of there, UFC's cooked, and we won't see UFC on national television again. Type. So.
Yeah, and it's difficult to like see, like, as a UFC fan, you want the best for that organization, for the people involved, because there's still some very exciting fighters there. There's still some people who feel like they can't go somewhere else because they don't have the name, and what the UFC promises them is the name.
Mm-hmm.
You get wins here, you'll get the name as long as you do what you're supposed to do. That the name will be there, but it also sets a precedent where it's like everyone chases that championship to try to be that like asset that you can't give up on. And then to see Francis Ngannou like and Dana White, and then just Dana White be like, all right, then what's the point of chasing that championship? You're not going to be an immovable asset, obviously, because he was ready to let Francis walk, and not just let Francis walk, but push a narrative out there like he's some kind of coward. And until Francis got the championship, he pretty much was fighting uphill battles. He fought people that no one thought he could beat. And I don't see why they looked at Francis at any point in time and thought he would lose, but they did. And he still went out there and fought as an underdog. Like, he still went out there and did it repeatedly. And he fought the titans of this division and got to where he needed to be. And you're going to sit there and tell him he's a coward? I wouldn't want anything to do with you either.
Unfortunate turn of events, man.
Very much so. But speaking of people getting the hell up out of there, I feel like y'all know exactly where I'm going with this one. Y'all saw the ESPN headline probably the same time I did, button up. Kyrie Irving. That man is possibly ruining another franchise. But we don't know the details. He went from dropping 40 balls to I want to leave. So did somebody lie? Is it Kyrie's fault? Is it Brooklyn's fault? Like, what are we thinking about that?
What's it called? I don't think it's Kyrie's fault. I think. I mean, I have a lot to weigh in on about. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot to weigh in on this. So I don't think it's Kyrie's fault. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. I think obviously something's missing. We don't know the full story because, well, one, we're not there, and two, we're not Kyrie, so we don't know what he's thinking, and we don't know what the Nets are thinking. We don't know what like the talk is. So like we just hearing from like secondhand information. So I think something's missing. I don't necessarily believe that, like, because it doesn't make sense. Like logically, as a player, when you're playing at your best, you're not gonna want to like mess that up in any way possible. Because I know when we get runs going at the park or something, and we winning, I'm not trying to hop off. Like I'm not trying to hop off and like change the team I'm on because the team I'm on is winning. And then not only that, I'm playing well with the team that I'm winning with. So it doesn't make sense that he's going. I say that he's going crazy right now, and it's like it's not even crazy for real because he does this every year when he plays for like 20 games because he be getting injured easily, so he don't play a lot. But at the same time, I understand that you can't like control the injuries and whatnot. So like it's not necessarily his fault all the time, but at the same time, he's not been playing a lot these past few years. So when it come down to it, it just doesn't make sense that he's going crazy. I think he's got the most fourth quarter, excuse me, fourth quarter points in the league right now. I don't know. He's going crazy in the fourth quarter, so he's getting crazy clutch buckets, crazy comebacks. Teams are winning. You know what I'm saying? The Nets they're gelled as a team. It looked like when they win that they're all together and he's not just winning for him. He's winning because he's like, all right, I want my team to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it doesn't make sense for him to get up out of there when he's right now. He's the only thing the Nets have outside of their role players because it's really him and KD and then role players all the way down through the bench. And it's working out. And then you put a good coach up there. It's really effective as we can see. So like when KD come back.
Hot take. Josiah thinks Ben Simmons is a role player. Hot take.
Yo, hold on, man. Don't come for me.
Put some respect to the Royce O'Neal.
I mean, yeah, they eat a little bit more. They star players, and I won't even say they star players yet, but they gonna be star players.
I mean, so, okay, one question is, like, where is he trying to get? Like, where are you going to go that's better than where you're at? You're the fourth seed in the East right now. I mean, where do you want to go? You want to go back with Braun? Nah, because he's like the 12th seed. I mean, you'd be going nowhere. You'd be going backwards instead of forwards. And with the Nets, what they're doing, they're trying to win a championship. I mean, that's why they brought them there, and that's why, you know, they do their thing. But, like, ask out now, I don't know why, because they've worked their way up to the 4th seed. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I just think he's going to end up talking his way onto the damn Magic if he's not careful.
I would trade him there, man. Fuck. He's already ruined 2 different teams. You know, it's kind of just mentally destructive of your team, your like front office. I mean, if you just sit there, you go play for about half the season. You go ask out when you're actually getting somewhere. I mean, it's a bad look for him.
Yeah, so I understand you, like, because part of it is the narrative people put on Kyrie, where he can't do it without this person. He can't do it because of this. He can't do it without this person. That is part of it. But if you want to prove that. Don't sell a title-winning dream to the Nets. Like, oh, me and KD come over here and get you one. But then get upset that it's not just you. Don't sell that dream to Celtics, but then get mad when Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart are playing well. Like,
I don't think that's what happened at Celtics.
I was about to say, because Kyrie is the only one with something to lose on this. Like, Kevin Durant went there to prove himself. Because, like, people said, oh, here's your 2 titles, and, like, you wouldn't have those without Steph. But, like, come on now. It's just, like, he brought you here you like agreed to be there. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Like, both have equal shares in this, and like I don't understand it, man.
I mean, the man don't know what he want, and if he gonna mess around, a GM gonna think he want to be on the Magic, and it's. I mean, it's sad to see because Kyrie is the most skilled player in like my lifetime. There's not been a player who could do what Kyrie could do on the court, who could make these ridiculously tough layups with a third arm we didn't know he had after switching it around and like practically shooting off the back of his shoulder and stuff like that. I mean, come on, like you don't see that from people. He's an exciting player. He's fun to watch, but he's ruining himself doing that, and it can't. Obviously, with the NBA being the business that it is, it's clearly not one-sided. There's other parts to it, but I mean, if you're gonna sit there and let those be unheard, let your own grievances be unheard, and just I want out, then what kind of narrative do you expect to be pushed? Like,
Can I weigh in on this a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, in my opinion, from the reports we got, what he really wants is an extension. And at the end of the day, the Nets can't give him that. So he has to go to a team that not only wants to sign him, but extend him. And not just for like cheap money either, it has to be a max. So in order to do that, he has to leave the Nets either way. So maybe the situation he is good right now, but maybe he can put himself in a better one for financial reasons later on. I think that's probably what he's trying to do in general.
I mean, I guess like why? I mean, it's just lessening your chance of signing elsewhere.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time though, whenever Jimmy went to the Heat originally, the Heat weren't that great. The Heat, Jimmy did raise the floor a little bit, but at the end of the day, Jimmy has a good retirement plan now because he has low income tax whenever he retires. So that may be Kyrie's end goal too. I don't know if he'd go to the Heat, but that's just an example of a player like going to maybe a lesser situation and then put himself in a better one later on.
I guess that makes sense, but like financially, Kyrie, he's been getting paid. Like, so to go get paid, I mean, obviously, don't nothing hit like a bag, but like, I don't know, for him to go and get paid again, just like to leave a team, because like, I remember, what was it, when he was playing, it might have been last year when him and KD were both playing, but I remember when they went back to the Cavs, he was, before the game starting, they were like chanting his name or something. And then he was like, I still remember, and he pointed to his ring finger, like, I still remember that ring. I remember it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like as a basketball player, like if you, and I don't know, when you, the best, when you are good at the sport, like in any sport, there's a competitive nature that just comes out when like you're naturally good at something, a competitive nature come out and you desire to be the best. And I know Kyrie definitely didn't become Kyrie without having that competitive drive, and like I just believe that I don't know if he could end on one ring. Like he can. Yeah, it's up to him. I'm not him, so I don't know. I mean, I am him, you feel me? But I'm not Kyrie, so I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know his nature and his desires and whatnot. But I do know, as a male athlete, bro, when you good at something, you trying to win. Like if I'm the best on my team and I'm like, we not winning, I'm trying to win. And if we in a position we can win and I'm balling out still, I don't know, the money at that point, it don't really matter. Of course, I'm not no NBA player, but you know.
my question is, what's the difference between $30 million and 31?
But
That's what I'm saying.
Here's what I'll say. I'm going Jimmy and Kyrie going to be hand in hand for me. Jimmy had the chance to re-sign with Philly. Granted,
Mhm.
and Philly was like that was their year, so why wouldn't he just re-sign? You know. But now since he's in Miami, whenever he retires, if he stays in Miami, he doesn't worry about with the tax, and he can bring all that money in. So whenever Kyrie, I think it expands upon just basketball because they're now entering their later years, to where it's like, okay, I need stuff for my family too, and not just the basketball.
What's it called? I think the difference in situations there was that Jimmy, when if he were to get signed, Tobias Harris couldn't get signed, and then like certain role players like Maxi and them couldn't be there because they just wouldn't have the money. That's the difference, I think. Because like if he was going to sign Tobias Harris, what they had Ben Simmons, Embiid, Harris, and Jimmy. I forget who else was on that team, but I mean they was kind of stacked up, and it was just like all the way down the board. They had role players, star players, everything, and it was like, yeah, nah. If they don't win the championship next year, if everybody stay, then they doing something wrong.
You mentioned talking about role players, star players, and I want to hit that word star real quick. We've done enough talking about Kyrie Irving and his stardom and everything. But, the All Star game, we found out about the starters, the reserves, and I want to hear about some snubs. And I actually start this one off because I feel very strongly about this. I know I've talked about the Kings and how well they've been playing. De'Aaron Fox not making an All Star team, it's kind of wild to me. And then my second one, I mean, which I'm pretty sure I think we'll all agree on, Anthony Edwards. Like the two of them have been playing very well to not make an All Star team. Like I think obviously people say James Harden, Jimmy, you know whoever else, AD, but when it comes down to it, like and maybe they all were snubbed too. Who knows? But All Star games is it's a limited thing. So, but if I put my snub mentions on two players, mine are De'Aaron Fox and Anthony Edwards.
Um, my snubs are James Harden and what's it called? Did Donovan Mitchell get in there? Because if he didn't, that's definitely a snub. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh no, Don start.
Don's a starter. What's it called? Yeah. So mine's James Harden and definitely like AD or Jimmy. I ain't gonna lie. Say they be ball. I don't like how the media only like to talk about like John Morant or Zion when he only played 10 games a season. So
I do want
I
to.
mean,
I'll wait till the end of it to make my Jimmy point, but I do have a point about Jimmy.
I would like to say that I agree with both lists. I don't really have a snub. I think they got it right. It's what I think because SGA had a ball out year. Now you could argue Dame, but Dame's always putting up all-star numbers with his trash ass poverty franchise. But I think they got everything else right now. AD, nah, you can leave him out. I think, but the only questionable all-star player that I see on here is Laurie Markkinen. Come on, man. Come on, man. I can JB go out there and get some buckets for the Jazz, man.
Yeah, that would be my player to remove, and that's not to take anything from him because he's had a great season for the Jazz. But they do this every year where there's always one player who was decent or mediocre the year before, and then they put up low end All Star numbers, like low end All Star, and they're
I
just
got
like,
a question.
let's go in there.
What's it called? So, out of the All Stars that have been picked and are selected as All Stars, the fake All Stars that are in there, is it okay to say that they're fake all stars if they what's it called? If they come into the All-Star game and show out, or do they just solidify themselves as an all-star? You know what I'm saying? So like, what if Markkinen hop in there and he scored 40? Does he beat the case of being a fake all-star or not?
No.
I don't think he is a fake all-star. To be honest, he averages 25 and 8. If anybody should be removed, it should be Triple J for AD. That's my opinion. I don't think it's fair to put Triple J in there and I have AD instead.
Yeah, I was waiting on your snubs, Christian. Who do you think besides snubbed?
I think one is AD, and then I already said one of them. It was Harden too, but I already said that one. Let's say AD and Harden.
I'll put a case in for SGA, bro. I need my man's Shea to get that All-Star, man.
Let's say
he is now.
Yeah.
Thought he got snubbed, man. Break my heart, man.
Yeah, the case I'll say with like Lauri Markkinen is like fake all star is a harsh term, but at the same time, we've named a list of players who have consistently been at that level that were left out, or like to put Lauri Markkinen in there and not De'Aaron Fox, or put Lauri Markkinen in there and not AD, not like Ant-Man, like it's kind of.
I don't know if Anthony Edwards is really an all-star right now. You know what I'm saying? He been hooping. Don't get me wrong. I ain't one for the hate. I'm kidding. I could be a number one hater if I need to be. But thing is I don't know if he's an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Because he hoop, but like, is he hooping at like that level of all-star? You know what I'm saying? Now.
See, I think he's definitely been an all-star, especially when you like weigh in who he's been for his team. When you're dealing with dysfunctional play from Rudy Gobert, Cat, D'Lo, and you're the one consistent piece. And see what about the Timberwolves, but they can be a problem if they're hitting on all cylinders. Can be.
What's it called?
What's
it called? I don't think. Well, Cat, he's been hurt, and then I don't think it's dysfunctional play from Rudy Gobert. I think it's just awful. He been trash. I've been saying it since he was on the trash Jazz, bro. D. Mitch was over there fighting for his life in the bubble, bro. I was ready to go to boxing for people, man. I was ready to go boxing for D. Mitch, man. But Rudy Gobert over here missing layups, airballing layups. Boy, you're 7 feet tall. I'm about to get on you. What you doing in the league if you're 7 feet tall? Boy, Wembanyama was 16 years old cooking you. You in the NBA, bro.
I didn't think Rudy should have retired after that point Rudy moment. I think that should have been raps right there. I'm not gonna cap.
Ridiculous. Golly.
The case
Can't do it, man.
Jimmy. Like, I honestly don't think he got snubbed this year. I don't think he played like the Jimmy that is an all-star. Like, again, Jimmy is one of my favorite players.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite. Defensive lock. But at the same time, defense ain't got no place in the all-star game. And two, he hasn't. Don't get me wrong. The Heat ain't the Heat. And they're not any good without Jimmy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's put up the all-star numbers that we're used to. He put up a case over the other Eastern Conference players that did make it.
Well,
Young got snubbed before I'd say Jimmy got snubbed.
I'd say Jimmy got snubbed because we used to seeing this. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jimmy don't come alive. We don't see that like, oh, Jimmy could be one of the best players in the league, or if not, well, I won't say the best because you still got to overcome certain people. But like, what's it called? Jimmy could be top 5. You know what I'm saying? If he was playing like this all year, so like when he gets to the playoffs, it'd be like he averaging 45, and you like,
Yeah.
where does Jimmy come from? You know what I'm saying? And he do it pretty much every year. Every year you get to the playoffs, except for the year they got swept by the Bucks. Absolutely packed up and ate like a pack of donuts. But it's okay though. You know, I think that was they rest year. So I mean, I understand that year he was just like, I can't do it this year. But you know, clearly Jimmy got that dog in him, man. And that dog be barking in the playoffs. I just don't understand why I don't bark in the regular season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now you do got that dog in him. I mean, when you're the illegitimate child of Michael Jordan, you're going to be insane. Like you're going to have that dog, and you're going to be having that workhorse mentality. I do think like there are players who should have been in before him that did and didn't get it. Not to take anything away from him. He is a like consistent top player in this league. He's in the S tier. He's Kage level if you're making anime terms. Like, and if the hidden cloud is looking for a Hokage, Jimmy, his name should be in there. Like, not to say he might get the title, but to not bring him up is disrespectful. And he's an S class ninja. You can send him on an S rank mission of locking down Kevin Durant, of locking down Jason Tatum. It hurts to say that as a Celtics fan.
Oh, really? Does it now? I ain't no Celtics fan, man. I love to watch it.
But that don't mean Jason Tatum won't still drop.
We outnumbered Josiah. We
Yeah,
got a
you
duck
right.
now.
I was going to say, if works on that one, I'd be lost.
Yeah, you can put those assignments on him that don't. I think defense in today's game don't get you an all-star appearance, unfortunately.
I'm glad. I'm kind of glad it doesn't now, because watching Rudy in the All-Star game, man, I was snoring. I'm not gonna cap to you, but Jimmy does have more to offer than that. It's just all the other All-Stars have so much more offense to offer than Jimmy. I think that's where the issue lies with him, because All-Star is entertainment, and then at the end of the day, just entertainment, and it looks a bit on your resume than other players.
Oh, let me. I don't want to get off the All-Star game and whatnot, and All-Star snubs and whatnot, but this is just like a side topic. The dunk contest, man. What do we got to do to make the dunk contest good again, man? Like, what's going on with that? You know what I'm
KD
saying?
said it. Ja Zion. I'll be fine if it's just them two. It's just them two for like 5 minutes.
Aaron Gordon 4 times.
You need to give him 2 of his trophies back, man. It's just insane.
I think here I'll name 4 players that what's it called that I want to see in there. I got Ja, of course. I want Anthony Edwards, man. I need to see that boy in the dunk contest. That boy got some bounce. And we ain't talking about cake. You know what I'm saying? So and then I take a John Collins being there. And then here's another one. I'll really take either a Gary Payton, you know what I'm saying, or
that's a great pick.
Or a Jaylen Brown, man. I need to see them boys in there. I need to see that. Mm-hmm. They got some bounce. I ain't talking about the cake. You feel me?
No Zion?
I see Zion in there too, but like he's an obvious pick. So like I'm just
he
saying
hurt
like the
himself.
4 that I would love to see. Well, because we done seen so many Zion dunks. I'm like, that's cool. What is he gonna do except for jump over a horse? We already know he part horse.
You don't want to see that man Zion dunk and then waddle off like a penguin.
I mean,
it's entertaining to me.
It would be entertaining, right? But like, I'm saying, like, out of like the dunkers, I'm trying to see people who are like limber. You know what I'm saying? People who can.
I mean, let's talk about this year's contest, man. KJ Martin of the Rockets, Mac McClung of the Delaware Bluecoats in the G League.
Oh, yeah. We're not even in the NBA no more.
Exactly.
Where'd that come from?
And then Trey Murphy and Shaden Sharp of the Pelicans and Blazers.
Shaden Sharp gonna catch a lot of people off guard, man. He probably gonna win.
I'm saying my sleeper is that Shaden Sharp is going to win. I think that man's kind of sneaky and sneaky athletic, but the point that I wanted to make is that this is what I mean by the dunk contest ain't gonna be good again after they've robbed Aaron Gordon so many times. Because I imagine they've approached some of these high class dunkers and they're like, "Nah, you're just not gonna pick me. Even if I come out here and backflip through the rim, you gonna give it to somebody else who missed their first attempt."
Yeah. What's it called? I mean, after last year's dunk contest, that was you had people missing like 4 tries in a row, and then we out here just make something. You know what I'm saying? It can't get worse, right? It just can't get worse.
It can't get worse. You put me out there and let me dunk, man.
Hey man, it will be entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need about 3 trampolines, and then about 5 bounces on the floor before I even get close to the rim. But yeah, that shit just boring, bro. I don't even know what you can do to fix it. Because like you said, they just be snubbing everybody. Aaron Gordon should have won at least 2 times.
That's fair. I don't know. We need better judges or something.
D Wade gotta go.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's out. Kick him.
Have they announced who's in the 3-point contest yet?
I don't think so.
I don't believe
so. If they have, I don't know.
Ooh.
Are they gonna pick Curry again? Because can they pick Curry again?
I feel like they always will.
Well, I mean, he won it, so he went back to back on these 3-point contest champions. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's fair to invite him again. He done won so many. So who do we pick then? That's a crazy question. Out of the All-Stars that are there, who we picking to be in the 3-point contest, man?
Who do I want in the 3-point contest? I mean, like I said, I think they have to put Steph in there. Trying to see Jason Tatum in the 3-point contest, man. I want to see it. I want to see how he holds up. It's really the only
one before.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't be watching All-Star Weekend like that no more. Who else? Bones Highland. Like,
okay,
I want that. And then we need some tall people in there. I want to see like some stretch bigs in there. Get like Laurie Marketing, and then Boban for the hell of it, man. This All-Star Weekend, this fan service, man. Put Boban in the 3-point contest. And
I want to see Udonis. Udonis needs to go out while he tries to shoot
the
it.
first person.
That'd be the first game he's played in all season. That's crazy.
And then if we put G League players in there, I want Udai Baba, man. Like, that man's great. I follow him on Instagram. I love watching his highlights.
We got to get well, I want to see Donovan Mitchell. What's it called? I like to see. Let's see here. I don't know. Let's put Shea in there. He ain't like he a shooter, I guess. I want to see Tyrese.
I wouldn't mind seeing Darius Garland in there.
That's a good one.
That's a
great one.
That's a great one. Damn.
Okay, so
pick of the day.
Just to confirm people who are in the 3-point contest already, only Buddy Hield, according to dailyknicks.com newsletter, he's the only one that's committed to the 3-point contest so far. And this was like uploaded a day ago.
That's tough.
So it could be Cap, but that's all I'm saying.
Man, the trophy.
I think what would be cool is if they like not for the dunk contest, because I ain't trying to see a 60-year-old dude go try to dunk, but like it'd be cool to see like a more recently retired legend participate in these contests, like a 3-point contest with Buddy Hield, this, that, and the other, but then put like Ray Allen in there.
Can he still bend his elbows?
Hey, don't sleep on Ray.
Wow.
Don't do Ray like
The elbows, dog.
or like
My fault. I just thought,
or like a Mike Miller, like just a recently retired legend. I think it'd be cool to see at least once, like, or a celebrity
messing around to put Vince Carter back in the dunk contest, man.
Nah, put a celebrity in there, like have a 3-point contest with Simu Liu in there. Like,
It's a celebrity game,
a dunk contest with Snoop Dogg in it. Like
he can still that boy old too. That's crazy.
how would you feel if you got Snoop up there under both legs?
Boy, I would leave. Wait, you know how lit that would be though? Oh man. I'd be
And then he just
crazy.
He just shoot a dime bag out of a t-shirt cannon to every. Nah, that would be fun. I want to hear about. I want to see who's in the celebrity game this year. Cause those got some. There's some potential, but like, I think they've been missing out on some celebrities that can hoop. Like, they've been getting Quavo and stuff, and like, that's cool. But like, there are some celebrities out there that can hoop that they've been missing out on. Just to put Ronnie 2K in there. Ooh.
Drake should be in it, bro.
Ronnie needs to fix his game first before he be hooping on the court.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah.
You see his
Like, I want to
shot in 2K, that boy.
I want to see Shang-Chi himself in there. Put him in that celebrity.
Oh yeah, hey, man, he be cooking him. That'd be crazy. I need to see Drake. I need to see Shang-Chi. You know what I'm saying? Who else can we put in there? I guess we could throw Justin Bieber back in there, man, just to see him get crossed up. You know what I'm saying? Screw it. Throw Rihanna in there. You know
throw Lil Dicky in there, bro. Lil Dicky be hooping. Like,
can we throw Beyonce and Jay-Z in there? I imagine we get
Jay-Z
a picture of Beyonce.
Imagine Jay-Z in the post against Snoop Dogg. He would get some Snoop dip in his mouth. Messing around. Like, he'd get a block with his bottom lip. Alright, well, it's been a fun topic, but I think it's time for us to wrap up. Sorry to the Pro Sports Talks fans that love hearing our sensual, lovely voices, but we got a draft to do with fantasy. So, I'm a draft and winning team. I just want y'all to know that. But we got to move on. We got to get moving. But y'all do know to support us, right? Y'all know to go follow on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and show us some love. Follow our boys Josiah and Christian. You know what I'm saying? Show them some love as they get some upstart on the careers. Myself and Ethan, man. Our lovely editor, Ed, who's been doing work both on the podcast and as a father and a husband. S-class individual. So we'll continue to show some love. But continue to show us some love. Other than that, we've been Bro Sports Talk. And peace. Oh, we got some close work.
Can I just get a fist up for every black individual listening right now? Because we pointed out this month is Black History Month.
Facts.
And we are here to appreciate that being melanin is beautiful. Yep. We need it. For the culture. I understand. Yeah.
Guys, as we head out, we'd like to thank you all for listening to our podcast. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. It really helps us out. While you wait on the next episode, feel free to check out our other episodes on the channel. See y'all next time.